Hello everyone, back again. We're doing the stuff again. Yes, it says final half hour, and yes, I know that it is 20 minutes till 7, but they normally have these things run for an additional 10 minutes afterwards, so yeah, that's my justification for that. So if they don't end up going another bonus 10 minutes or whatever, then they don't end up going another bonus 10 minutes. Oh my gosh, I really hope this isn't about to happen again. So, my TV, or at least the TV in this room, likes to turn off at random points sometimes when I'm playing, because it doesn't notice a strong enough signal, I guess, so hopefully that will not be the case during... Oh boy. Alright, hold on. Give me a second. This will... We'll see how this works. We got no signal for now, but it should clear up in just a second. Yeah, so we're good there, but on my end, we're... Oh boy, I really hope this doesn't happen to me right now, because this is crucial time. I don't know... Oh. So we're... okay, so we're starting now. TV's working right now, but I have a feeling it's gonna come up again. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but I don't care. If I have to, I'll keep on turning on this damn thing. And yeah, I'll make it work somehow. But we'll see. We'll see how it works out. I might have to turn up my volume, you know. Anyway, I was kind of in a rush to get started again, so I wasn't able to get in contact with Ridley for the last few minutes or so. So I think this might just be me. Hopefully Ridley can accompany as a mod. But I don't know. I was pretty busy when he was streaming, so I didn't get to see what his message to you guys was. But as far as I know, he could be just having a bite to eat or something like that. So yeah, if he can mod, then great. But I don't think we're going to be able to set up Skype for this last little stretch here. I just wanted to put in my my efforts for Team Cake while I still was able. I certainly didn't want to leave my team hanging, because that would have been really, really bad. So yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. Look at all of this ground they didn't cover. I gotta say, I do like the new Splatfest remix from Off the Hook. So I do enjoy that. Ooh, I'm gonna catch this guy. Oh, no you don't, buddy. That's not how this is gonna work out. Well, my friend actually came in and saved me. Oh boy. Have we ascended their side of the tower, like, at all by this point, or... I mean, okay, I'm just making a final run for it. I think we did well. I mean, it feels like we did well in that last bit there, yeah. Yeah, it looks like we won. Good stuff. Yeah, super nice. We covered almost exactly half of the turf, so that's pretty neat. Yeah, kick champion. Oh man, I really hope I can make it to king or queen, I guess in this sense. But I don't know what that does, because the incentive for ranking up in the old Splatfest was that you would get all of the you would just get a bunch of sea snails or whatever it is that they called them. I think they were called sea snails or something, but like power snails or something. They looked like straight out of Mario, but the incentive was that after a Splatfest you would get the sea snails, and depending on what your rank was, they would just throw like 30 at you if you were like champion and above, and it was really an incentive, because with all those sea snails you could apply different abilities and things like that to your loadout, and like re-roll them and stuff, and it was really neat. I always liked the ordering feature, and you know what? As much as weird as the app is going to be, I actually really appreciate I can't even speak right now. I can hardly think. I really appreciate the support that it has and the compatibility that it has with this game. Mainly the whole like ordering specific like outfits that are, for the most part, I think there's a couple of them that are specific to the app. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I'm actually pretty sure that there's a couple of outfits that you can only get by ordering them through the app. So like there's this like connectivity that they have with like making like outside devices compatible, and you know, this is kind of a really light version of this, but I really hope that they keep this up, like making, you know, not a necessary sort of thing where it's just like, oh yeah, you gotta you have to have this extra peripheral or whatever in order to be able to you have to have this extra peripheral in order to be able to, like, you know, enjoy the game properly or something like that. But I think, like, along the lines of Wind Waker and how it had functionality with the Game Boy Advance, like how the Tingle Tuner worked in that game, still, to this day, one of my favorite Game Boy Advance, GameCube compatibility features in the GameCube era. I loved the Tingle Tuner so flippin' much. It was fantastic. So I think that if they're going to have more compatibility with like iOS and stuff like that, they should really focus on making it quality, like really good compatibility. Like Splatoon 2, the compatibility that it has with Splatoon 2 looks really excellent, actually. The whole store and the ordering items and planning stuff and just, I don't know, the whole like party system on there looks really neat, and the interface looks really cool too, and the fact that it's basically like its own specific community kind of does away with the whole necessity for Miiverse. Like, they handle it in a way where it's like, yeah, they took away Miiverse, you know, as a whole, but at the same time, they took away, they added something in replacement that was like game specific. So like you can be super involved in that game's community by just playing the game. And that's what I love. Because the whole takeaway for me is that Miiverse was never really like, I mean, sometimes they would implement it in a way that was like in the game, like for example the 3D World stickers, or like the Wind Waker like Tingle Bottle or whatever. I still cannot forgive them for the fact that they replaced the Tingle Tuner with the Tingle Bottle, which was a Miiverse item. I found that really stupid, because the Tingle Tuner was probably the funnest part of having like an extra, you know, peripheral to play with, and considering they had the gamepad, it made no sense that they took that away. Excuse me. But it just feels like now it's more integrated, so the community is really tight-knit now for every single game. Because if they handle this like they handle every single game, it seems to me like every single game that they make is going to have its own community that is accessible within the game. You know, so you don't have to like access this completely separate network in order to be able to converse and have conversations about any specific game that you like. You just boot up the game and then it's there. I appreciate that, and I also appreciate, as I said, the compatibility with iOS devices, and how it's not just a thing that's just like, oh yeah, it's just to invite friends, which I could do just as easily in the game. It's or plan things, which I could do just as easily as, like, you know, calling up a friend and saying, hey, let's do this at this time, sort of thing, you know. All that's neat, but I don't think it's as cool as what they did in its entirety, which is they kind of went the extra mile with it, and, you know, there's a whole nother thing that's to that. I mean, I sound really dumb right now, but I feel like the connectivity and the compatibility is a whole lot more than just, you know, yeah, let's just have it be this thing that really you don't need, because you can do just about everything. I mean, I didn't really see the point of it at first, because, like, it seemed like they were trying to make, like, a community sort of thing going on, but I didn't understand the need for that when I could just, like, talk to the person that I want to play with, as opposed to, like, planning this thing with an app and wasting space on my phone or whatever. Like, it just seemed like a waste of space to me initially. But now that they included, like, store features within it that actually work, like, with the game, and how, like, you can, I think you can, like, even re-roll stats of, like, items that you get, or pieces of gear that you have, and how they have, like, outfits that are specifically for the app, like, you can only get those outfits, and I'm assuming that that's how it is. That's what I've heard, that that's the case, so don't call me on this, but I'm pretty sure that they showed off, like, outfits that are specific only to the app, like, on that little connected network. And it kind of makes the world feel a little bit alive. Like, it's almost kind of like a roleplay thing, if you kind of think about it. Like, it's kind of like, oh yeah, like, I'm actually participating in the game world. Like, I'm actually, you know, if this were... It's basically pretending if the Squid online world was like a real thing, and essentially, as I said, it has kind of a roleplay-ish kind of feel to it, where it's just like, oh yeah, this is the Inkling's, you know, internet service, as it were, and it's what they would use, you know, in the context of the game world. And I thought that was super neat. I've always thought that was super neat when they make you feel connected to the actual in-game lore. It's really neat. Not that it's lore heavy or anything like that. Like, they're not, you know, they don't have like an encyclopedia that you can access on the phone app or anything. It's just, you know, the little details that they make it, you know, to where it's just like, oh yeah, you're not just using an app. You're using an app that works, that would work in such a way that is relevant to the actual game world, rather than just saying, ah, yeah, it's just a Nintendo thing. You can do this, you can do that, and then you're done. You can go home. I know I'm being really vague, but I'm also kind of salty right now, and I'm trying to hide it. The salt is real for me right now. Like, how did we lose this badly? I don't know, but we just did. It was... Look at that. That's so bad. That is so bad. That pink streak there, that's me. Like, that pink streak right here, like in the middle... Oh, I can't use my cursor to point or anything, but... Like, towards off to the right, there's like a pink streak, that's me. I was grasping for something, and I couldn't do it. Alright, let's see how this goes. We have about 7 minutes left. I am a salty squid. I am a real salty squid. Seven minutes, presumably, if it doesn't stretch another 10 like it normally does, and I'm willing to bet that it will. So, I want to say maybe another 17 minutes, if we're lucky. This is really fun. I mean, it's like the first game, so I'm not, you know, surprised or anything like that. It's like, yeah, of course it's Splatoon, it's fun, but I don't know, there's just something new about this. There's something different about this that I really appreciate. It's the same general concept, but just the way that they're able to drum up hype with the Splatfest was really ingenious, I think. Because then they had the, you know, they had the test fire, which, like, they knew that doesn't only work as, like, a, you know, a balancing thing. Because as far as I remember, in Splatoon 1, the test fire was used kind of as, like, a beta. I mean, that's what, you know, it was initially intended for. And then in the second game, it was kind of like, yeah, maybe we'll use it for balancing, but the primary thing is let's drum up as much hype as we can possibly drum up for this game. And I appreciated that. And the way that they handled it with the Splatfest this time around was so ingenious, because they already drummed up hype with the Splatfest, or with the Test Punch, or I'm saying all wrongly, with the Test Fire, and now that they're doing the Splatfest, it's just like, geez, the game's gonna come out really soon, and they're still doing like public demos for it and everything like that. They really want people to get into this game. Marketing-wise, I think it's very smart of them. Yeah, marketing-wise, very smart move. Super smart move. That guy got owned. Wrecked. But also, I think just on a level of like, yeah, let's get people excited for this. I think that was also very, very smart of them. Ooh, did you see that Matrix move right there? The Sonic the Hedgehog movie will be PG-13. Well, slightly unrelated note, but my goodness. Holy poopy. Why? I don't think that, okay, as much of a Sonic fan as I am, and as much hype as I have for Sonic Forces and Mania, I do not, the movie does not sound like a good idea right now. The movie does not sound like a good idea. They have such a good thing going with Mania and Forces. Just don't do a movie, please. Just don't. At this point, I'm just like, look, I know it'll be bad. Like, I mean, there's a potential. Like, I want it to be good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, like, hoping it fails or anything. It's just, come on. It's a Sonic movie. It just, how can they possibly get this right? Not only will it be live action, but apparently PG-13. Now that I'm hearing, why though? Just why? Like, please don't. Please, I would prefer that you just keep it. Oh, jeez, I'm very worried about that movie, because who knows what kind of perceptions it will bring to that franchise. That franchise has, you know, problems, you know, that franchise already has enough problems without, you know, a big blockbuster film, you know, trying to ruin it. Like, honestly, it just, the franchise has way too many problems for them to be taking risks at this point, you know. Make it, you know, make the movie when we're a little bit more sure of ourselves with this franchise, because, you know, Sonic Mania and Forces, I'm sure will be fantastic, but let's wait before people are all definitively like, yeah, Sonic's good, as opposed to, like, right now, where Sonic's in this weird state where it's like, oh yeah, Sonic Boom, oh yeah, yeah, Sonic Lost World, oh yeah. Just wait. Just wait. Wait till Sonic has, like, a better reputation, and he's more generally accepted as being like, yeah, the Sonic games are pretty good. You know, wait for the series and wait for the franchise to recover before you try and take any risks that will that might kill it off. That might just kill it. I don't know. It sounds like it's gonna be bad. I don't want to be a pessimist, and Ridley knows. Ridley knows. I am probably one of the most optimistic people especially when it comes to Sonic, but just generally, I like to take things in a more optimistic way. And when it comes to the stuff I love, namely Sonic, I'm very optimistic. Like, I'm just like, hey, let's give it a chance. Like, with Sonic Boom, before Sonic Boom came out, I was just... I was legitimately happy about that. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm all for redesigns. Yeah, I'm all for the gameplay choices. Yeah, I'm all for this, I'm all for that. Game comes out, it sucks. I'm like, well, okay, I guess I should have seen this coming. You know, I was that guy. But this movie, it doesn't sound like a good idea. It just doesn't. I don't have to be... You don't have to have, you know, game experience or history with... I mean, frankly... History shows that, you know, when you do this, it ends up making things worse. I mean, like, geez, look at what happened with Prince of Persia. Look at what happened with Assassin's Creed. Look at what happened with Resident Evil. Just, it's not, just don't do it. Like, just don't do it. Leave it alone. You don't need to do it. Just don't ruin something that doesn't need to be ruined, please. And Sony's making it? Oh my goodness, the company that made the Smurf movies. Okay, well, look, you know, I heard that the, I don't know when, if this is out already, or if it's coming out, or it's gonna be in theaters soon, or whatever. But the recent Smurfs movie that was, like, not live action, like the Smurfs movie that was, like, 100% animated, like the newest Smurfs movie, I heard that was good because they got rid of their, like, cringy character, their like, edgy girl Smurf, and then they really went back to, like, Smurfs roots, like, what Smurfs actually are. So, you know, they know how to clean things up and stuff like that, but then again... They also were responsible for the live-action ones as much as they were responsible for the cleaned-up one. So, being that this Sonic movie is apparently going to be live-action, I don't... Oh boy, I don't know. That scares me. I mean, because really, how much do the Smurfs people, like, know Sonic? Like, really? I mean... Well, that's kind of an interesting question, though, because how much do you need to know Sonic in order to make a movie about him? Like, honestly, though, I mean, what could justify, like, what knowledge that... Oh, nice, beautiful. What knowledge do you have to have that could justify a legitimate Sonic movie? Like, seriously. Oh, nice, I thought we would lose that one for sure. Like, what do you have to know? Just like, he's a blue guy, he has Spike... He's a blue guy, he goes fast, he has blue and Spike and the red shoe. I don't know why the guy explaining, the guy giving his pitch is a retard, but, oh, what's this? Oh, Splatfest is done so, wow, so it did end, at 7, okay. We're all winners today. Yeah, so which team gets all the glory? Little Judd is tallying the numbers as we speak. We should know soon. And that's all the time we've got. Until next time, don't get cooked. Stay off the hook. Well... Okay. I thought they were really going to go the extra 10 minutes like they normally do. What with all the matches and whatnot, but I guess that's it. No, yeah, though, like, I think that is an interesting thing, though. That's an interesting concept, because it's just like, yeah, like, what do you have to know about Sonic? Like, he goes fast, he's a blue hedgehog, and he's cocky. Like, I mean, how true... If it's a live-action Sonic movie, what really do you need to know? You know? It's just like, just do whatever at that point, you know? I would be perfectly okay with an animated Sonic movie. Like, I'd be totally okay with that. But the fact that it's live action is just like, well, I mean, if we're gonna do that, then just make it Sonic X. Just make it like a Sonic X story. I mean, granted, there were some good parts of Sonic X, but I don't know. That was animated. Like, Sonic X was animated. And the only reason why I say Sonic X is because Sonic X was a show that included, like, humans. Like, it wasn't just all the Sonic team, there were humans in there. Sonic Boom, on the other hand, is just all Sonic characters. You know? So I don't know. Like, I don't think Sonic was ever really supposed to be on the human planet. That's what worries me. Is like, his thing was just that, like, Eggman was from Earth, but Sonic and his crew were from a different planet. That's why they look the way that they do. You know what? I don't care. It's Sonic lore. Sonic lore is incomprehensible. I'm a 100% Sonic fan, and I can say with certainty that Sonic lore is just bullocks. It's just 100% bullock. If you try and catch up with where the comics are right now, if you try and catch up with the story in the comic books right now, God help you, because it's very hard. It is a very ridiculous string of lore that you have to go through. It's webby. It's just messed up. It's just messed up. No human should be subjected to having to read up on all of that. It's just wrong, and it's very cringy. I know there's a lot of people that really appreciate the story for the Sonic comics, but I just, as much of a Sonic fan as I am, I was into the comics for a really long time. I used to go in, like, every other week to the local comic book store, and I would check if they had the latest issue, and I would follow it, and I would follow it, and I would follow it, and I just didn't like it. Like, eventually I just put them down because I'm like, yeah, this is just, like, I don't want this anymore. I don't want this. It's too complex. It just, I don't get it. You know? It's not friendly, and it certainly doesn't make sense. I think it's, for a Sonic story, like, why? Like, I don't know. There's so many things wrong with Sonic lore that it's just like, at this point, just count the games, because the games seem to self-reference each other a lot, and so that makes me just think, like, yeah, just worry about the games. Don't worry about the comics, don't worry about anything but the games, because now Sonic Forces is referencing that Chaos was a villain. Now Sonic Forces is referencing that Shadow used to be Sonic's enemy. It's referencing Metal Sonic. It's referencing literally all of Sonic's previous adventures, but it's in present day, meaning, no, we're not traveling back in time. These bastards came back and they want revenge for when Sonic initially defeated him, meaning that there's continuity between the games. So, if you want to know Sonic lore, just play all the games. That's just about it. Don't look into comics, don't look at any of that stuff. So, when talking about a live-action movie, that's what I'm worried about. Is, like, what could they possibly use as their source material? Like, what are they going to use? Like, what would they use? Sonic 06? I mean, frankly, like, Sonic 06, Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2? I mean, how could they handle a Sonic Adventure 1 and 2? Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 were great games, but they were cheesy stories. Very cheesy. Not fit for cinema. Same thing with Sonic 06, although Sonic 06 was just bad. Just all around bad. So, why am I doing this? Why am I having this rant? Well, okay. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, those of you that tuned in. And I know that we had kind of a really slow crowd today. Because of the last, I mean, we had a pretty decent number initially, but as far as the last 30 minutes are concerned, I know that I kind of did it just off the cuff, and there was no announcement involved or anything like that. So, my apologies for that. Hopefully, those of you that want to see this will just see it when it's posted later. So, yeah, hopefully you'll be able to do that. But in any case, yeah, please. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. It helps a lot. We really think you'll like the stuff that we have on this channel. Yeah, tune in for more streams, because we do stream frequently. And you can look forward to a post from Ridley very soon, as well as the second episode to the Zelda analysis. That's the second episode of part 1. So, hey, they noticed me! Alright, everybody. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.